2 hits, 2 runs, 9 strikeouts in game 1 of the series Friday night. And she fires in a fastball for a first pitch strike to KK McCrary at the top of the lineup, who has 1 hit on the weekend. Michaela Packer, Nelia Peralta, and Anna Wohlers, the top 4 as they were yesterday. Abby Smith at the bottom in the 9-hole getting her first start of the weekend. And KK McCrary ropes it into left field. Well, by far the best start Auburn's had all weekend.
One that they've needed so badly. KK McCrary comes out against Lauren Krings, who all she wants to do is get ahead of these batters. McCrary realizes that. She gets one over the heart of the plate and lines it into left field.
Lauren Krings was almost untouchable, it felt like, Friday night. Only allowed 2 hits. She's already given up 1 hit in the first batter of the game. And a very rare sight to see Auburn have the leadoff runner on base. And that one skips in there to Michaela Packer.
Coming into day 3, I felt like as a unit, we thought we were going to see Lauren Krings coming out. She's always been that Friday starter. She's their ace, gets the ball here in game 3 as well. But we were questioning ourselves up here. Are we going to see her again, or might we see someone from the bullpen?
Packer lays down a bunt. She's out at first, but successfully does her job to advance the runner to second. So Lauren Krings on the season, making her 11th start, a sub-2 ERA with 54 strikeouts, a team high. And she has a lot of velocity too, Brooke. She hits high 60s, sometimes into the low 70s.
Absolutely, and when she gets that changeup to go across the plate as a strike, that is when she is most effective. It was on Friday, and these Auburn batters had no idea what to do with it. Let's see if she still has that same effectiveness, or Auburn's going to make a little bit of adjustments to try and eliminate that pitch from her.
Yeah, Larissa Anderson said, I can usually tell pretty early what kind of outing Lauren Krings is going to have. If that changeup is there, if it's effective, she can go deep into a game. If she's not throwing it for a strike, it may be a long day for us. Nelia Peralta late on the fastball and slashes it foul. 0-2.
The good thing about this Missouri pitching staff is, yes, even if Lauren Krings hasn't had a good day, they can still go back to Sierra Harrison from yesterday, or they still have 4 to 5 other arms that Auburn has not seen yet that they'd be able to throw at this lineup to hopefully get a different view as well.
2 complete games, 7 innings for Krings on Friday, 7 innings for Harrison yesterday. Not a single relief pitcher has been used on the weekend. That's looped into right field. On the run, Kaylee Langer makes the grab in foul territory, and KK McCrary advances to third.
Peralta does a great job on this curveball on the outside half, keeping her hands in front, maybe a little late, but an even better play in right field by Kaylee Langer. We've been talking about her all weekend long, and she comes up big here in this moment to get that out for the Tigers. And now the Tigers just need one more to eliminate that run on third base.
They got the leadoff single from KK McCrary, but Lauren Krings is 1 out away from getting out of this first inning without allowing a run. Pitch clock was running low. It was down to about 3 or 4 seconds, and that's when Mizzou called time. Larissa Anderson out to have a word with her entire infield. Important to note this year that the pitcher gets 1 timeout per at-bat, the batter gets 1 timeout per at-bat. So if at any point the pitch clock runs out here or Mizzou calls another timeout, that's an automatic ball to the batter, who is Anna Wohlers now. It has not been a great weekend for Anna Wohlers here in the cleanup spot. 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts, but she takes the first pitch of the at-bat right in the back, and she's on base.
First baseman number 34, Amelia Lack.
Got the hands started, but was able to hold off on the swing. First and third now with 2 outs. This is the first batter that Mizzou pitching has hit this weekend. Wohlers takes second without a throw. The exact batter you want at the plate, too, Brooke, if you're Auburn. 5 home runs on the season for Amelia Leck. She's driven in a team-high 18 runs. When you got a couple runners in scoring position, this is the bat you want.
Absolutely. She has that power on the team and the most RBIs as well for Auburn. She's had a little bit of a down weekend, just trying to get into that SEC play. Hasn't quite seen that yet. Lauren Krings does a great job making sure she keeps her off balance with those 2 changeups.
2 off-speed pitches in a row, got her way out in front. It's 0-2, and Krings can end the inning, stranding 2 runners in scoring position. The 0-2 looped out of play. Leadoff single, a hit by pitch. But can Lauren Krings get out of the inning without giving up a run? The answer is yes. Swing and a miss from Amelia Leck. Mizzou bats coming up. Abby Hay getting her first start of the weekend as well in the 8th spot. And Jenna Laird takes a first pitch strike from last year's SEC Pitcher of the Year, Maddie Penta. Laird, the leadoff hitter, hitting just under 400 on the season. And when she leads off an inning, which she obviously does every game in the first inning, hitting over 600. And a little late on that heater from Penta. It's 0-2.
Penta was the Friday starter along with Lauren Krings as well. She did not have her best outing, I felt like. Some of her balls were a little bit more flat. She missed over the plate, and these Tigers batters took advantage of it. But we are talking about the reigning SEC Pitcher of the Year and reigning National Pitcher of the Week from last week. So we know that she's going to come back from maybe her best performance on Friday.
She throws low 70s, and the thing that she can do really well too, Brooke, is she moves it all over the zone, keeps hitters off balance.
She does. Mickey Dean talked about that. She's such a versatile pitcher. Her bread and butter, though, she's got to try and get ahead. When she works ahead in the count, then she keeps these batters off balance and has a really good rise ball to go with it.
Whipped right back up the middle by Jenna Laird, and it's now a 7-game hit streak for the leadoff hitter.
That pitch was a little bit too much over the plate, a changeup to Jenna Laird after she had been a little bit late on that fastball, but she had been able to come back and stay on plane with that, drive it right back up the middle and do what she does best.
These Mizzou hitters saw Penta really well on Friday night. 6 hits, 5 runs, a season low 4 strikeouts for Penta. Didn't have her A+ stuff that you typically see. And that makes you wonder if they were seeing her so well on night 1. This is the second time they see her. Everybody's seen her, 2-3 times on Friday. You've seen quite a bit of her now in the last 48 hours.
Absolutely, and it got me thinking at the beginning of the game, are we going to see Penta just because of how well the Missouri Tigers hit her? Yesterday, we had Shelby Lowe, who almost shut this lineup down. At the beginning of the day, we were talking about this, Noah. Who do we think would get the start? I thought for sure it'd be Shelby Lowe. But again, Noah, you thought it was going to be Penta just because of her versatility and how effective she has been in the past. So do not be surprised if we do see a couple other pitchers to keep these Missouri batters off balance if Penta starts getting hit a little bit.
Can you repeat that to everybody? Who was right and who was wrong?
Yes, Noah, we talked about this. You were correct. You were correct.
Honnold fouls it back. It's 1-2. All right, that's my one mean thing for the day. Nice Noah the rest of the day, I promise.
I already told you before the game, too, that you got the win on that one, okay? You called the pitchers correctly.
Yeah, but I needed the public acknowledged. I need everybody else to hear that, too. So thank you. Honnold slaps it foul, stays alive. Larissa Anderson was talking about Alex Honnold this week, and she said it sounds kind of bad, but Honnold doesn't do anything special. She just doesn't chase pitches. She's phenomenal at hitting pitches in the zone. You can't make a mistake because she will take advantage of it.
She knows what pitches she can handle. She does not swing out of the zone very often. And as I say that, I probably just jinxed her. But she does such a good job at making sure that she gets her hands straight to the ball. She's not going to overpower you with her pop, with her speed. She's just an overall very good hitter. That's why she's in the 2-hole. That's why she got All-American honors last year. She just has the ability to get a hit anytime she's up at the plate.
Yeah, second team All-American, meaning back-to-back years Mizzou had an All-American. As she's way out in front of this one and swings and misses.
This is the Maddie Penta that I believe we should be seeing today. She was up on that last pitch, got Honnold's eyes a little bit off, and then comes back with a changeup. Honnold just a little bit too out in front of that, but expect Maddie Penta to throw a lot more to this offense of Missouri.
I don't know if I've ever seen Alex Honnold that out in front of a pitch.
And we might not ever see her do that again.
This is Julia Crenshaw, the hero of Game 1 in a 2-2 tie in the 5th inning. Blasted a 3-run home run that proved to be the game winner. Pops straight back. It's 1-1, and for more on Julia, we go down to Kylie.
Coach said earlier today that she actually wants Julia Crenshaw to be more competitive at the plate. She said that yesterday in the middle innings that they gave up too many easy outs, and she wants her to emphasize having a full, complete, and hard-fought game today.
Well, Brooke, she kind of mentioned the same thing to us earlier this week when we were talking, that she's not as aggressive as she would like her to be, wants her to be swinging at more pitches. As Laird takes off here, she dives in safely for her team-leading 11th stolen base of the season. Mickey Dean was quickly out of the dugout, too. He thinks that Laird might have taken off early. He wants this to be looked at. Thoughts?
At first glance, what I just saw, I think she might have been a little bit early. But in real time, it is so hard to see for the umpire.
This could prove to be a pretty big turning point. As of now, there's a runner in scoring position, just 1 out. If they rule she left early, you have bases empty, 2 outs.
Auburn is challenging that the runner left early at first base. We are under review.
Like I was talking about before, it is so hard for these umpires to see that release and the runner going off at the same time. Her momentum has already started, and as it is going...
Foot off the bag. There,
yep,
ball still in hand.
Early. That is one of the benefits about this.
After further review, the runner did leave early. The count is 1-1.
Not a very quick review compared to yesterday.
And after a leadoff single from Laird, we thought a stolen base put her on to second in scoring position. Instead, called leaving early. Nobody on base, 2 outs for Julia Crenshaw.
Mickey Dean had a couple challenges yesterday that did not go his way. One being a safe call at first base that turned up to be a home run. So
Crenshaw lifts it deep left field. McCrary's back on the track and makes the catch. Quick first inning. We're scoreless here in Como. And then capping the night with 13th ranked Florida and number 10 Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Talk about a busy week in the SEC. It only gets more fun from here.
And you're only going to keep seeing ranked teams as the years go on. That's the power of the SEC conference. Whenever we mention a team, we always feel like we're saying number 13, number 12, number 6, whatever that may be. And it's going to continue just because of the ability of this conference to play each other, because it is always such great teams whenever they're in this conference.
Mickey Dean was telling us earlier this week that in the 8 SEC series coming up for Auburn this year, 24 games, 21 of them are against teams that are ranked higher than them. They're ranked 25th in the country, and 7 of the 8 teams in the SEC they play are better than them.
Absolutely. And on the flip side, the Missouri Tigers, all 24 of their SEC games will be against ranked opponents. So talk about the power of a conference right there.
And not necessarily teams that are ranked higher than them, but yes, all 24 games in conference play for Larissa Anderson's team against teams that are ranked in the top 25. It is absurd week in and week out in this conference. 2-2 from Lauren Krings. Swing and a miss from Tresvik. Strikeout number 2 already on the day for Krings after she had 9 on Friday in the opener.
We talk about our bread and butter being that changeup. She throws it here in a 2-2 count, a little bit in the dirt. Tresvik cannot hold up. It is so deceptive coming out of her hand, so hard to see. Good job by Julia Crenshaw making sure to get that scoop and tag the runner out.
Back-to-back complete games entering today for Krings through a complete game in the win against Nebraska. Did so Friday in game 1 against Auburn. And she fires in a strike on the outside corner to Rose Roach, who's really been the only batter in this lineup for Auburn who's had much success. The only player for the Tigers that has 2 hits on the weekend. And slaps the 0-1 foul, and it's quickly 0-2.
A thing we do need to mention, though, is her 2 hits came yesterday against Sierra Harrison. She was 0 for 3 in her first game against Lauren Krings. Let's see how she tries to make that adjustment as one of the hottest Tiger hitters in the lineup right now.
You can pretty much copy and paste that statement. Almost everybody was 0 for 3 against Lauren Krings on Friday. Allowed just 2 hits in the win. That one slides just outside, 1-2.
We talked about that drop ball a little bit before. She has worked on that pitch throughout the year. She didn't come into college with a drop ball. She was a very high velocity pitcher coming in with a rise ball. Her and Larissa Anderson have figured out a way to incorporate that drop ball, take a couple miles an hour off of it. Because of that, she's been able to be so successful with it.
Slow roller to Krings, who flips it with the glove for the second out. Do you see that pretty often, Brooke, especially at this level in the SEC, where pitchers can just rely on their speed in high school, and then when they get here, they realize, okay, we have to develop the off-speed stuff and the other things to keep hitters off balance?
Absolutely. When you are in high school and in travel ball, you can blow people away if you throw 68 to 70, and you're going to be able to get away with it and miss it over the middle of the plate. The batters in college, especially in the SEC, are so disciplined, and they're going to get a good pitch most of the time and not chase after the stuff out of the zone. So the fact that Lauren Krings has, in her 4 years, been able to develop another pitch is quite impressive for someone who already has that high velocity and good movement.
She blows this one right by Aubrey Lisenby, the catcher. It's 0-2. And you can make the argument now that the fastball isn't even her best pitch anymore. It's probably the changeup.
Absolutely. Changeup has been her bread and butter since she has came into college. I remember playing with her, and we were in those inter-squad scrimmages, and Lauren Krings, I would never want to face her just because of the fact that it would be such a high pitch. But on top of that, she also had that changeup that was dirty, and you couldn't even pick it up out of her hands. So that's been one of the ones that has been so good from her, even as a freshman. But the development of that drop ball and making sure that her rise ball is a very competitive pitch has made her so successful over the years.
The 0-2. Got her swinging in the dirt. Crenshaw the throw down to first. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 already on the... It's all to wrap up the regular season, and then had at least 1 hit in all 5 postseason games for the Tigers. Slow chopper to second. Roach has the play. 1 pitch, 1 out.
So far, I feel as if Maddie Penta has done a much better job than Friday at locating her pitches. Before, it was just left over the heart of the plate on Friday. Could have been from the conditions. We don't know exactly what it was. It wasn't the Maddie Penta that we're used to seeing. But so far today, the Missouri hitters are super aggressive on the pitches like they were earlier. But this time, the ball is a little bit on the corners of the plate instead of down the middle.
Yeah, not only down the middle, but you also thought on Friday, too, that there wasn't much movement.
There wasn't. Usually we see a big jump from Maddie Penta with that rise ball and her curve ball, and especially her changeup, but we didn't see that at all. We're not used to seeing that from the Maddie Penta, who is the National Pitcher of the Week and the SEC Pitcher of the Week as well.
Was also a first-team All-American last year. First pitcher in Auburn history to be a first-team All-American, and one of just 16 players in total in Auburn program history to be named an All-American. That's first, second, or third team. Maddie Gallagher looking for her first hit on the weekend, 0 for 5 so far. And she is all over the record book right now in Auburn history. Second in wins, she's just 1 away from tying it. She can tie the Auburn record today, potentially, 2 away from being the all-time winningest pitcher. That one is right down the middle on the off speed to Gallagher, 2-2.
Coach Mickey Dean earlier this week, yes, he talked about how good she was in the circle and how she has great movement, great speed. But the thing he could not stop talking about is how she has done such a good job taking these underclassmen pitchers under her wing and showing them the way. Not only in the softball, but especially in academics, socially, mentally. It's something that he feels like she has the ability to let these players just be themselves, just like she is. He said she's a little quirky, has her own little nicks here, but she's done a really good job at making sure that these underclassmen know how to play in this league, and has done a really good job talking about her leadership and mentality as she's grown up.
And maybe my favorite thing he said about her is that she has developed a great listening ability this year. 2-2 is fouled straight back. He said last year she was an All-American level pitcher, but she had a tendency to let me just tell you how to do it. And he said over the offseason and into this year, she's become a listener, and it's not so much of do this, do that. It's she's asking the younger pitchers, well, tell me what you're seeing.
And if you have a relationship like that with your younger pitchers, with an experienced pitcher in Maddie Penta, then you just know that these pitchers are going to be so much better.
That bounces off the leg of the first baseman, Leck. Gallagher's into second, takes a hard round it, but she stays put, and the leadoff, rather the second batter of the inning for Mizzou, is in scoring position.
This was the Achilles heel of Auburn yesterday. They had the ability to get out of the inning yesterday. This time was just an easy ground ball over to Leck. She does not come and get it, tries to get it off her knees, hits off of her for Maddie Gallagher to get into second base.
They rule it a base hit, Brooke, but that's one of those that it's happened a couple times this Auburn defense where it goes down as a hit, but it's a play that the fielders probably could have made.
Absolutely. And it's not one of those things that we're used to seeing. Mickey Dean talked about how good his defense has been behind his pitchers this year, so far this year. But yesterday, that killed them when they made 2 errors in a row and then a home run after that. We're going to see if this will actually come around to bite them. But right now, the defense hasn't been looking as sharp as we have been used to.
Katie Chester, she goes after the first 2 pitches and fouls them both back, 0-2. I think we've seen Chester swing at every first pitch this weekend. She is going up there with a plan to hit the ball.
And that's what she's been doing all year long. Yeah, this weekend probably hasn't been the best for her, but her batting average, her RBIs, her home run power has been up so much. If she gets a good pitch across the plate, why not go after it? That might be her mentality right now.
Just off the plate outside, it's 1-2. She's good in these situations, too. If you got a runner in scoring position, this is one of the bats you like to have up there. Second most RBI on the team. One, two. Way too tall, but nice snag by Lisenby behind the dish. Well, this saves 60 feet on the base paths for Auburn.
She didn't get the start on Friday with Maddie Penta, but this ball just jumped up. Lisenby does a great job making sure that she finds a way to catch that thing. That would have been one of the hard ones to catch for sure.
Bounce foul here from Chester. Still 2-2. Yeah, Shelby Elkins was the starting catcher on day 1 for Auburn, but Aubrey Lisenby has been the starter yesterday and today behind the dish. Check swing, did she go? No. Full count.
Auburn faithful wanted that one, especially after their ability to not be able to get out of innings very quickly because of the air. Katie Chester does a good job holding up on that pitch.
7th pitch of the at-bat. Got her swinging through it. Second strikeout today for Penta.
Penta coming right back with this rise ball that Chester held up on last time. This one a little bit lower, right over the hands of Katie Chester. She just wasn't able to get on plane with that. Maddie Penta does a great job coming back with a good pitch to get that out.
Runner on second, 2 outs. Shauntees Phillips, who homered yesterday and really blew the game open in the second inning. Only her second home run of the season, as she's become more and more part of the everyday lineup for the Tigers. And fouls it right back.
She got this pitch over the outside part of the plate, goes down and gets it in a huge spot for the Missouri Tigers. Her teammates knew it right off the bat. It's so good to be able to see her have such good at-bats of recent. She's been up and down in this lineup. It was all year last year as well. She's starting to find that place and take left field for herself and really earned this spot for the Missouri Tigers.
She was the starting left fielder for a majority of the season last year, but went through an 0 for 26 stretch where Larissa Anderson benched her. There was a new starting left fielder. She didn't play the rest of the season, but got another chance at the start of this year, and she's been really productive through the first part of non-conference play and into the first couple games of SEC play.
She has, and the SEC play is when she started to kind of hit that downhill slope. But so far, she's found good pitches to swing at. She hit one yesterday against Auburn, and it's been really great just to see her get more comfortable in that role that she's had now that she knows that she might not have to fight for it as much and she can just go out there and be herself.
Two and one. Smoked but foul left side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Called strike 3, fooled her with the off speed. Back-to-back strikeouts to end Wednesday, the 14 seed. Auburn's basketball team, meanwhile, got the double bye as one of the top 4 teams in the conference to the quarterfinals on Friday. And a first pitch strike in there from Lauren Krings to Abby Smith, the 9-hole hitter who's getting her first start and first plate appearance of the weekend here in Game 3 of the series. Check swing. Did not go. 1-1. Do you think this is something that Mickey Dean's trying to do to just get a spark in the lineup? They've only scored 2 total runs in the first 2 days.
I mean, we haven't seen the same lineup all 3 days at all for Mickey Dean. So I think he's still trying to figure out those top 9 of his hitters that's going to go out and compete every single pitch. They might not be successful, which is fine.
Squares to bunt. Daly to first, and the second baseman Gallagher's foot was off the bag. Abby Smith, in her first start of the season and first action of this weekend, is on base.
Talk about a spark at the bottom of the lineup in which Auburn needed. They've only had a lot of success coming from their 1 through 4 hitters so far this year, but Abby Smith comes in. Ooh, that's a close play.
Foot was not off the bag. That's what the call was. Now, the runner potentially was still safe. I think it was a bang-bang play, but foot definitely was not off the bag. But Abby Smith in the 9-hole does her job, flips it over to the top of the order with KK McCrary, who already has a base hit today to lead off the game. And I think as the weekend goes on, too, Brooke, you're seeing McCrary look a lot more comfortable. She was really off balance on Friday night, struck out. Yesterday doubled, already singled in the first inning today.
I think she's the one that has shown continual growth on this Auburn team so far this weekend. The first day might not have been her best day. 0 for 3, she did get one walk, did get on base as a leadoff hitter.
Lifts this one towards the right side. It's Gallagher, the second baseman, over towards the line for the grab, and there's one down.
The runner on that play was actually taking off as well, too. So Abby Smith is very lucky that that ball wasn't a little bit lower, because if Maddie Gallagher could have caught it and thrown it to first base, she might have been out. Right on the pitch, she goes off. But as soon as she knows that it's high up in the air, she goes straight back. Very good base running over there by Abby Smith.
She was almost all the way to second, though. That gets past Crenshaw, allows the runner Smith to advance to second. Took a really hard turn around it as well. So runner in scoring position for Auburn and only one out here in the top of the third. Auburn has only scored 2 runs all weekend. Both of those came Friday in the 4th inning. Did not score yesterday, got shut out 5-0. 1-0 to Michaela Packer. She's behind it, 1-1.
This is where I feel like Lauren Krings has almost gotten better, and in the years that she has grown, is there's runners in scoring position and she hunkers down. She finds a way to get out of these innings almost unscathed. It's one of the things that she has really grown in her confidence and her maturity as a pitcher out on the mound. And I think that comes from just the years that she's been under Larissa Anderson and the connection that they built together.
Yeah, numbers have improved year after year for Lauren Krings. Threw a no-hitter last year. He's coming off back-to-back complete games entering tonight. Packer squared to bunt, but pulls it back, and the throw down to second is late from Crenshaw. And this is also something we didn't really see on Friday either, was Krings getting behind a batter 3-1. She stayed ahead the whole night.
She did, and maybe that's something, her coming off of a game 2 days ago that she was pitching.
That's blooped into left field, and it's down in front of a diving Phillips. Gets past her, rolls to the wall. Smith scores. Packers into third with a stand-up triple. Auburn's offense gets the jolt it finally needed all weekend.
And they get it from the most experienced batter in Michaela Packard. She finally comes through for her team. A little bloop over there in front of Shantice Phillips. It's one of those things with Shantice, if she's not able to knock that ball down, maybe it's better just to keep the ball in front in general, but because of her dive, it was able to get past her. Michaela Packard was able to get to third base because of it.
Auburn's offense has 2 triples on the season. Both of them have come from Michaela Packer. And the damage might not be done. It's popped into right. Langer the catch, Packer the tag. Great throw in from Langer in right field to keep Packer in place. Eighth triple in the career, 2 of Michaela Packer, which moves her into a tie for second all-time in Tigers history. Only 3 behind Tiffany Howard for the all-time record. Talked about the stolen bases. She's also second in program history in stolen bases, now second in triples. That tells you there's a whole lot of speed in the legs of Michaela Packer.
Absolutely, and that's why she is in this 2-hole, is her ability to 1, get on base, but 2, steal bases. Get that defense in motion to where they have to not only think about her on first base, but they also have to think about playing that runner at home. So far, Michaela Packard has really shown why she's in that 2-hole and why she has the most experience on this team.
Slow roller to Krings. Pitcher fields the position and tosses to first for the out, but make it another generation of a Mizzou athlete.
She is from Columbia as well, too. Born and raised here, went to high school just down the road. Her dream was to be a Tiger. She wanted to follow in her family footsteps. She hasn't gotten as many starts this year as we expect with Madison Walker over her, but because of Madison Walker not getting as many good quality at-bats, Abby Hay got that start today.
Sliced foul over towards the Auburn dugout. 1-1. Coach Larissa Anderson said that she does something that not many freshmen do, and that's let the ball travel to them. They sit back, they wait on it, and she said she just owns that right center field gap. Really good going to the opposite field.
She is very good, and that might have came from her past playing baseball up until she was a sophomore in high school. She was able to join the team just because she was so strong and powerful. She wanted to get more competition, so she played baseball up until in high school, when she then turned to softball. So she has so much raw power. We can see it in her stature when she's up at the plate. So she is, if she gets a hold of one, that thing's gonna go out of here.
Yeah, didn't make that switch until late. Was into high school before going from baseball to softball. And bounces it foul, stays alive, 1-2. Kylie had mentioned this too, but Coach had told us earlier this week that they're trying to get her more and more at-bats. She's only had 4 at-bats this season as a freshman, but feels that the more at-bats she gets, the more comfortable she's going to be and the better she's going to get.
Isn't that almost every freshman in the SEC, though? You're going to start off and you're going to have your slumps because the pitchers are going to be a lot better than what you faced. But again, Abby Hayes shows so much potential. That's why Coach Anderson wants to get her more at-bats and more opportunities out on the field, just because of her potential and what she's done in high school.
2-2 from Penta. Stays outside. Good eye from the freshman. Hey, it's a full count.
Showing very good discipline as a freshman against a reigning All-American pitcher. Usually you see freshmen go up there and try and swing at everything that they can, but Abby Hayes done a great job so far making sure those borderline pitches go as balls.
Bounces it towards second, fielded by Roach. 1 down.
The right fielder, number 99, Kaylee Langer.
Nine-hole hitter Kaylee Langer coming to the plate. The only player for either team that had 3 hits in the first 2 days. And when that's coming from your 9-hole hitter, that's pretty special.
I think we expected out of the top of the Missouri lineup and Jenna Laird and Alex Honnold, but then you have Kaylee Langer, who has been very quietly getting her hits here and there, getting on base. You're not going to talk about it a lot just because she's not going to wow you. She's just going to get those base hits here and there, get on base by a hit by pitch. That's why she's such a good 9-hole hitter. It's because she finds a way to turn the lineup over to your all-conference players behind her.
It's almost like a robot. Larissa Anderson said, all I have to do is say, Kaylee, what's your job? And her response every single time is get on base and turn it over to the top of the order. Exactly what you want from your 9-hole hitter.
There's nothing better than someone who understands their role, especially as someone who didn't play as much last year but is getting more of an opportunity this year. She knows what she needs to do. She realizes that she might not be the name that they highlight on the scorecard, but if she can just keep doing what she's doing, find ways to get on base, maybe get those little hits here and there, she's going to stay in the lineup and she's going to be really, really good for this Missouri Tigers team.
1-2. Got her swinging. Strikeout number 4, the first time through the order today for Maddie Penta.
Maddie Penta doing what she does best, outside corner here. Almost a little bit of a drop-off, a little bit slower than we're normally seeing. Langer's not able to go down and get it. What a great pitch from Maddie Penta, which she was up in the count there as well.
Faces one of the bats now that gave her some trouble on Friday night, and Jenna Laird, who has already extended her hit streak to 7 games with a leadoff single back in the first. Longest active hit streak for Mizzou. Alex Honnold's 12-game hit streak was snapped on Friday night in Game 1. Stays outside to Jenna Laird. A ball and a strike. Strays inside a little bit to Laird. 2 balls and a strike now with nobody on and 2 outs. This is the first lead all weekend that Auburn has had. They tied it 2-2 in the 4th inning on Friday, but then Mizzou wins it 5-2. Missouri won yesterday 5-0. It's an Auburn 1-0 lead right now. 3 straight out of the zone from Penta to Laird.
This is not something that Penta wants to do, is get behind Jenna Laird and let her get on base with 2 outs, because then you bring up Alex Honnold behind you. And there are so many different things that these two can do. Jenna Laird could steal second base, get into scoring position, and then Alex Honnold could then, after that, get a little base hit like we're used to seeing from her, and then score that run and tie up this game. It is so crucial that Maddie Penta makes sure that Jenna Laird earns her way on base instead of giving her a free pass.
It's a batting average above 400 waiting on deck in Alex Honnold. Laird gets a piece. It's a foul ball. Laird has one of just 2 hits today for Missouri, the other being Maddie Gallagher in the 2nd inning. Do it again.
These are the type of matchups that I feel like makes this game so great. Is you have a former All-American in Maddie Penta, you have an all-conference player in Jenna Laird who has made a name for herself at the Missouri Tigers. You always want to see something from the 2 of them, because it is always going to be such a good matchup. This is what college softball is all about. These good batters facing these good pitchers, so high intensity and so much fun to watch.
Slashes that into left field, and Jenna Laird's got her 2nd base hit of the day.
She found a way on base after fouling off those 2 change-ups before. Maddie Penta goes outside with this pitch again, but Jenna Laird just uses her great hands to hit that to the opposite field. That's why she is so good in that 1 hole. She finds a way on base, even when it might not have been the best pitch.
4 hits on the weekend now for Laird. 3 of them have gone to the opposite field. And Honnold on the first pitch whips it over to the first baseman, Leck, who makes the play on 1 hop. 3 innings in, Auburn up 16 innings. Has the 3rd most appearances on the team behind Sierra Harrison and Lauren Kring. So just a freshman, only in year 1, but they are letting her go out there right away and get some meaningful time.
What we're going to see from her is a very floaty rise. She also has a screw, a curve that's a little bit of an off speed, and then also a changeup. She's very similar to Jordan Weber was last year. So again, she's going to be one of those that needs a lot of time, a lot of different looks, and she's going to give that to the Auburn batters.
Well, let's go down now to Kylie, who has Mickey Dean in the Auburn dugout.
Michaela Packer had a huge double play yesterday, and now the stand-up triple. What can you say about her?
Michaela, she's been working hard, and so she hit that one pretty well, and it was a little misplayed, and she's got great speed, so she got to 3rd base.
And then Maddie Penta, what are you seeing from her today that you weren't seeing on Friday?
She's doing a little bit better job of hitting her spots. They've got some dangerous hitters, so you got to be careful, and you got to hit your spots.
All right, well, thank you, Coach.
War Eagle.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, Kylie. Much better day today for Auburn so far, 3 innings in, than what it was either Friday or Saturday. With Amelia Leck at the plate, leading things off here in the 4th inning. Always a power threat anytime she steps into the box. Team leading 5 home runs on the season. Lifts that deep to left field. Phillips is back on it, and now it's 6 home runs for Leck.
Home run for Auburn, Amelia Leck.
Four of her 5 at-bats entering today were strikeouts, but this one leaves the yard to give Auburn a 2-0 lead.
Changeup left too much over the plate by the freshman. Amelia Leck does a great job keeping her weight back, launches this one out of here, gives all the momentum again back to the Auburn Tigers. It's a whole different team today than I feel like we've seen this past weekend.
Only 2 runs on Friday, got shut out yesterday in a 5-0 loss. They're trying to avoid the sweep here today on the road in the opening week of SEC play, and the offense has come out firing today. An RBI triple from Michaela Packer in the 3rd. Now the solo home run from Amelia Leck to start the 4th. Does that make you worry at all about a freshman in the circle, comes in, her first SEC appearance, and the first batter she sees, she gives up a home run, or do you think she can quickly move past that?
It might be something a little bit. She's got to get the jitters out, too.
Yeah.
It's her first appearance in SEC play. But again, Coach Anderson has so much confidence in her. She's giving her this opportunity in games to be in these big moments. She just gave up a home run. Now, how is she going to come back from that? It's all about resiliency. How is she going to do better than leave the ball over the plate like she just did? But again, that's something that we're going to have to see out of this freshman.
The philosophy that Larissa Anderson has with her is a little different than she had with Sierra Harrison last year. She said we protected Sierra a lot. We didn't throw her in there as much, but this year we're kind of throwing Marissa into the wolves and seeing how she responds.
Absolutely, and so far she's done a really good job in those big moments. She finds ways to get out of innings, not give up too much damage, but it's something that she's gonna have to figure out for herself. She's thrown her into the wolves, and how she responds and how she does well is going to make her see if she's going to be the pitcher of the future.
What do you think goes into a decision like that? Is it just who they are as players, who they are as people, what you think you can handle and what they can't?
It might be something that Coach Anderson just feels.
That ball is slapped into right field. Back-to-back base hits to start this 4th inning for Auburn.
Coach Anderson might see something from Marissa McCann that she might not have seen last year in Sierra Harrison. It could have been in the fall when they were playing or when they were doing inter squads against each other, how competitive she was. But again, one of those things is just the confidence that you have in the communication between each other that makes all of these relationships between players and coaches very, very important. It worked out for Sierra Harrison this year, but maybe something about Marissa McCann is, you know what, next year she's gonna have to be that one of those starting pitchers for us when Lauren Crane's graduating. Why not give her a lot of experience now when she can, throw her into the fire, see what she can do.
Home run and single from Leck and Tresvik, respectively, for Auburn in this 4th inning. And now Rose Roach squares to bunt, but pulls it back. Takes one outside.
This is also going to be a very good testing period for Larissa Anderson to see, yes, I have Lauren Crane, yes, I have Sierra Harrison, but I'm going to need someone else as well, too. And if Marissa McCann can come out here and show that she's deserved to be maybe one of those relieving pitchers, maybe not a starting pitcher, because you do have the 2 in front, this is a very good opportunity for her to prove, hey, Coach, I deserve to be out on the mound. I deserve to be here.
She's been really good so far through non-conference play in her 6 appearances, a 2.33 ERA. She's gotten out of some jams at times when she comes into games. That one right back to her, makes the catch on the line drive and doubles off the runner. That might get you going.
It does not have to be pretty. She throws her glove. This ball is smoked. Throws her glove up, catches that. Almost oh, look what I got there. And then the runner was going from first base, got that double play. A huge out for the Missouri Tigers after she just gave up a home run.
How quickly things can turn. Nobody on, 2 outs now. Chance to get out of the inning here against the catcher, Aubrey Lisenby. Here comes the 1-1. Popped up, stays in the infield. Gallagher calls off everybody for the third and final out of the inning. But Auburn gets one more here in the fourth. Head coach Larissa Anderson with her on the field.
Coach, you're only down by 2. How do you get these runs back one at a time?
I didn't hear a word you said, so.
You're only down by 2. How do you get these runs back one at a time?
We got to have some more quality at bats and hit some more balls hard. Get some people on base, which we're only really getting Jenna on base right now, so we just have to have some more competitive at bats.
And then what was the thought process in the pitcher change?
I didn't like how Krings looked. Like, she didn't look very explosive and the ball wasn't moving, so we sent her back to the bullpen to do some things with our strength coach, but I'm free to bring her back into the game at any time.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, MIZ.
Well, that's an interesting philosophy there, Brooke, that you take out the starting pitcher Krings, but Coach Anderson just said right there, I'm not afraid to bring her back in at some point.
We talked about this before, how Coach Anderson knows when Lauren Krings has her best stuff and when she doesn't. She said she didn't like what she saw from her. It could have been how she was coming off the mound, maybe the pitch speeds, maybe the changeup, something that wasn't looking right. But she's going down, she's in the bullpen, she's trying to work out her issues. It's the reason she went to the freshman.
Krings was phenomenal Friday night, gave up just 2 hits, struck out 9. But today, through 3 innings, gave up a run, didn't have the A-plus stuff we saw Friday. See if this Mizzou pitching can get a little bit of help from the heart of the order. It's 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Tigers here in the 4th. Crenshaw offers at that one. She goes down 0-2. This was the part of the lineup Friday night, though, Brooke, that got them going. Crenshaw hit a 3-run home run. Kara Daly, who's on deck, hit a 2-run home run. That was all 5 of the runs scored.
And we want to see it coming from the top of the lineup, and we're seeing it from Jenna Laird. But these 3 and 4s are really the ones that make this team go round. Julia Crenshaw, she got this pitch over the heart of the plate and absolutely crushes it. She's been doing such a great job in that 3-hole. Kara Daly right behind her, pitch over the heart of the plate, gets this one out of here to get the Missouri Tigers a lead. This is where they need to see that improvement from these two, is staying a little bit more consistent and getting pitches in the zone that they can drive.
Daly home run came in the first inning right away. 2-run shot made it 2-0, and then Crenshaw's came in a 2-2 tie in the 5th inning. It's the game-winning home run that Tigers went on to win it 5-2. Slow roller foul here. It's been the unexpected parts of the lineup that have kind of done it this weekend for Missouri. You don't think 3 and 4 would be unexpected, but it's typically Jenna Laird and Alex Honnold in the 1 and 2 spots. But these 2 hitters did it, and then Shantice Phillips in the 8-hole yesterday hit a 3-run home run too.
And their biggest problem is that sometimes they're not consistent enough. And that's the reason why Larissa Anderson moved them all up and down the lineup yesterday. But so far this year, they've been really good at making sure they get the jobs done when they need to and score those runners.
Crenshaw fouls out here to the third baseman, Anna Wohlers. Maddie Penta, meanwhile, we're talking about how Lauren Krings doesn't have the stuff she has on Friday. Penta struggled a little bit on Friday. I think you could argue it was her worst start of the season. Today, it's been much, much different of a story.
She's almost been lights out. Besides the fact of Jenna Laird getting 2 base hits against her, everybody else has not hit the ball very hard. Maddie Gallagher, her base hit should have been counted as an error, but it wasn't counted as a base hit against Penta. But again, all the rest of the batters in this lineup have not been able to figure her out yet. She's coming back and she's showing us why she was a first-team All-American last year.
1-0 to Daly. Got her way out in front of the off-speed.
That off-speed is so deceptive in the other half of the batter's box. You think it's going to stay up, but instead it decides to drop off at the end. It's what got Kara Daly so off balance with that pitch.
Daly lifts it in the infield right near the pitcher's circle, and again, it's the third baseman, Wohlers. The undefeated season.
And by someone who hasn't taken a 3 all year long. That's how good that team is.
Rosa Roach makes the play, and it's a quick 3-up, 3-down inning here in the 4th. He's in our ear right now telling us that wasn't very nice. Oh, well. First pitch in there to Smith for a strike. Jordan said we ruined Leanne's first TV hit, but I think all we did is we kind of gave her credit. We're, dealing with Jordan all the time.
And he talked about this earlier, how much she looks like him as well, too.
Poor girl.
Poor girl.
This has just turned into a roast of Jordan, and I didn't mean for that to happen. Jordan, we like you a lot. You do a great job. Thank you. Red hair, just like Jordan. Spitting image. Second inning of work for Marissa McCann, the freshman. Came in relief, gave up a home run to the first batter she saw, but then got out of the inning rather quickly after that.
Marissa McCann is such a great story to tell. In high school, she was around the Missouri area before she moved over to Arizona. She came back and visited this campus because she loves this school so much. Coach Anderson tells us she pinches herself that she has the ability to be here right now. She talks about all the time how she gets to be around great players like Jenna Laird, Alex Honnold, Julia Crenshaw. And it is such a special story. She wanted to be a Missouri Tiger through and through. Coach Anderson didn't even recruit her that heavy out of high school, but she wanted to be here so bad, worked hard, make sure she got here, and is really doing a good job since being here.
The blooper falls down right in front of the foul line for Abby Smith, and the 9-hole hitter has a couple base hits today.
If she wanted to find her way in the lineup, she has really deserved and earned it today with 2 base hits and being very, very good at the bottom of the lineup, making sure she's turning it over to maybe a little bit more consistent players in this lineup too.
Has Auburn maybe found its new 9-hole hitter?
After this weekend, I don't understand why Mickey Dean wouldn't keep her in that 9-hole. First career start today, 2 for 2 so far.
Done her job perfectly. She got on base, the bunt single in the third, came around to score 2 batters later on an RBI triple from Michaela Packer, and now to start this 5th inning, she's on with a leadoff single. Top of the order, KK McCree whiffs right through it. The throw down might have beat the runner, but it popped out of the glove of Gallagher. Would have been really close, but runner safe.
She adds another great option at the bottom of the lineup to steal more bases and to get into scoring position. Would have possibly had the runner there, but it pops out of Gallagher's glove at the last moment.
Missouri is challenging that the runner left early at first base. We are under review.
Ooh, that could be interesting. We've already had one overturned today on a runner leaving early. It was Jenna Laird who got called for leaving early. Let's see here. Ball still in hand,
Off
Ooh.
back there. Yep,
Yeah,
she should
runner-
be out,
Runner
leaving
takes
early.
off. That is clear. Ball still in the hand, foot off the bag. It should be pretty quick, just like the first one was.
After review, the runner did leave early. We have an out, 1 ball, no strikes.
The break needed for Missouri right there. Runner takes off early instead of a runner on second. With nobody out, it's now bases empty and 1 out. First pitch back from McCann is out of the zone. For more on McCann, we go down to Kylie.
Well, Marissa McCann, if you're a Taylor Swift fan, you're going to like this. She used to designate an hour on Tuesdays from 7 to 8 where she would blast her and drive based off memory to her old home, her grandparents' house, and to her pitching coaches just to recollect her dream of being a Tiger. And she says to coach sometimes, guess where I drove today?
That is really cool. Are you a Taylor Swift fan, Brooke?
Not personally. She
No,
wouldn't
huh?
be my number one artist.
Kylie, are you a Swiftie?
I am a fan of Taylor Swift. I enjoy her old music.
Good. I like to hear that. I'm a Swiftie. I'm a big Taylor Swift fan.
Even the new stuff? You're a new Swift?
I am. I'm an all Swiftie, all right?
Have you found any cheap tickets to possibly go and see her?
I am going night 3 in Indianapolis in November of this year. There's a walk to McCray, runner on board now. I can't wait. I got in. I was one of the last people in the queue to get tickets, but weren't many tickets left. Still got some.
I wouldn't necessarily go. I'm not too big of a Swiftie, but again, at the same time, she's done some really good job.
Well, Marissa McCann's day is done. An inning and a third in. There is a pitching change for Mizzou. Krings is back in. The new pitcher or the old pitcher, whatever you want to call her here, is correct because Lauren Krings threw the first 3 innings, and Larissa Anderson told Kylie in the interview down the field just last inning there was a pretty good chance she would bring her back in the game.
She only had 38 pitches to start this game, but obviously those 38 pitches weren't working for her, or else Larissa Anderson would have kept her in. She must have done something in the bullpen to come back here, get her mindset a little bit better. Hopefully her pitchers are moving a little bit more. That's why Coach Anderson brought her back in.
Yeah, through just the 3 innings, she said she didn't have her A+ stuff, so she took her out of the game, wanted her to work on stuff in the bullpen, and said probably we'll bring her back in later in the game. And Coach Anderson does with 1 out here in the 5th. What don't you think was working for her in those first 3 innings?
I think she said the explosiveness coming off of the mound, which could attribute to maybe a little bit less velocity, maybe not enough jump on her pitches, something that Coach Anderson saw right away she was not very happy with, wasn't pleased with. Lauren Krings goes back into the bullpen, maybe gets some work done from her strength coach, comes back out here, maybe has a little bit more pop to it.
First strike of the at-bat into Michaela Packer, who tripled off her the last time at the plate. Krings has thrown 10 innings this weekend. Complete game on Friday, gave up just 2 hits, struck out 9, was really, really good in the Game 1 win. She's thrown 3 innings so far today, and she blew that right by Packer, 2-2. Auburn trying to avoid the sweep this weekend. Mizzou took the first 2 games. Can Auburn go back home with 1 win on the weekend? Bouncer to second. That's Gallagher. Flips to Laird. On to first. Not in time, but they do get the lead runner.
Too much speed over there from Packer to double her up. Hits this ball hard into the ground. Gallagher does a good job keeping her body in front of it. But again, Packer does too much speed to double her off over at first base.
Well, this is always the situation you want if you're Auburn. Having Michaela Packer on first base, 2nd most stolen bases in Auburn history. And Mickey Dean said whenever she's on base, defenses play us different. They always have to move. They have to be wary of where she's at, when she's going to take off. Because it's not an if she's going to take off during an at-bat, Brooke. It's more like when she's going to take off during the at-bat.
But we've already had 2 stolen bases being brought back
Yeah.
because of the review today. Maybe that's something in the back of Mickey Dean's mind that he doesn't want to take a chance on just in case she gets called out again just because of the 2 reviews.
That's a good point. And the Auburn one was just this inning. Abby Smith got on first with a single to start the 5th inning, and then she left early on a steal attempt and was ruled out. Packer takes off, throw down, scampers into the outfield, but it quickly got out to Honnold. Not enough for Packer to take off for 3rd, but that is stolen base number 8 on the season for Michaela Packer.
So much speed over at first base from Michaela Packard. It almost seemed like regardless if that ball would have beat there, she would have been safe. So much speed from Michaela Packard.
Yeah, definitely would have been safe. She beat the ball there, let alone having to get a tag down. Runner in scoring position for Auburn, who has a 2-0 lead. 59 stolen bases in the career of Packers. She's got a little bit to go still to get to Shannon Anderson. But we're early enough in the season, right?
She's had a 20 stolen base season already. Has the opportunity to do it again this year to break the record.
So if she has 8 already, she's 14 away from tying it. That would mean a 22 stolen base season. Her career high is 21 in a season. So it could be right on pace to potentially become the new-time stolen bases leader in Auburn history. Short hop to Laird. Third out of the inning. 2-0 Auburn. Game, one-hit shutout. She was phenomenal and a very, very tough place to win a game. How about the SEC as a whole this weekend, Brooke? 4 ranked matchups on the opening weekend of conference play, and that's just going to be the theme. That's going to happen every single weekend.
And it's going to continue as the weekends go on. This conference is so dangerous and so good. You're going to have a ranked opponent almost every single weekend. It's going to be such great competition. You're always going to want to watch whenever they're on TV.
Katie Chester pops out to second. Rose Roach the catch for out number 1. I think there was a little bit of questions surrounding Missouri. They were 18-2 entering Friday, number 12 in the country, but they were preseason number 11 in the SEC. So I think there were some questions of, can they keep it up come conference play? Well, Larissa Anderson's team up 2-0 in terms of the series. They've got a chance to sweep today, even though they're down 2-0 in the game. But I don't think there are quite as many questions about, is Mizzou for real today than there was even 48 hours ago.
That comes off of last year where they had a pretty subpar season, very 500, still made it to a regional afterwards. They had a lot of their returning players back. They lost Jordan Weber last year, but they basically have the same lineup. And last year it might not have been the best lineup that they had last year. A lot of up and down seasons, a lot of up and down players. You have Jenna Lair and Alex Honnold coming back, so they were ranked that way, but they came out and proved to everyone why they deserve more talk in this conference and they should be feared. They've really showed not only this conference, but they showed the whole nation that they're a team that should be feared this year.
Finished last in the SEC last year, 13th place as Phillips rips that one foul towards her own. 4 top 25 wins already. Phillips continuing to battle at 1-2.
And again, it is only the first weekend of SEC play. We still have quite a few to go after this. But just to come out in your first weekend, get at least 2 wins, if not a sweep, you're going to show the whole conference, hey, look, we deserve to have your respect. You need to come up and give us your best effort every single day, or we're going to get those wins over you.
Phillips launches at foul again. 4 straight foul balls from Shantice Phillips. And they're certainly going to have to earn that respect, too. All 24 games in SEC play this year for Missouri, they play a team that's ranked in the top 25 in the country. As of now, of course, that can change from week to week. Teams can fall out or jump into the rankings. Phillips way out in front of the off speed after 4 straight foul balls. It's Maddie Penta's 5th strikeout.
Shantice Phillips did a really good job at fouling 4 balls off before, but Maddie Penta comes back with a changeup that just drops out of the strike zone. Shantice Phillips could not hold up, hit it the opposite way out in front of that. Another strikeout for Maddie Penta.
She's got a chance for back-to-back 3-up, 3-down innings with Abby Hay at the plate, who takes a first pitch strike. First start of the season for Hay, only 5 at-bats total. The first 4 had all come in pinch hit situations, and 0 for 1 so far today in the start. And Larissa Anderson was telling us Abby Hay is good enough to be playing for us, and especially at a lot of other schools across the country. She's good enough to be in the everyday lineup, but this Mizzou roster is so stacked that she hasn't quite gotten the opportunities yet in her true freshman season, and she said Hay is handling that so well.
She is. She's been such a great teammate. Even if she's in the lineup or out or not, she is has such a fun and bubbly personality. All of her teammates love being around her. She's such a positive force. Even if she's not in the lineup, she's going to be the first person leading the cheers, giving people high fives. You can't ask for a better teammate. And then when she gets the opportunity, all of her other teammates are going to want her to succeed because Abby Hay has done such a great job at being that big supporter for them.
She said she cares about winning maybe just as much, if not more, than everybody else in that Mizzou dugout. She just wants to win, and she'll do whatever her role is. If that means come in and pinch hit, she can do that. If she needs to get in the starting lineup like she is today, she can deliver there too. But she feels as she continues to get her more and more at-bats as the season goes on, it's only going to make her more comfortable. Slow roller to second, Roach the play, and back-to-back 3 up, 3 down innings for Maddie Penta with #1 South Carolina and LSU. Middle of the order due up for Auburn. The power bats are at the plate, the next two. The transfers, Anna Wohlers and Amelia Leck. Wohlers spent her first 2 years at DePaul. Leck spent her first 2 years at Maryland, both in year 1 now at Auburn, and both committed to Mickey Dean and the Tigers within 48 hours of one another over the summer. Roped on a line down the right field line. Anna Wohlers is into second as Langer had to chase it into the corner. It's a leadoff double for Auburn, trying to add some insurance runs here in the 6th.
Something we haven't seen from Wohlers this weekend is get a hit with her high batting average. She's usually that one that gets a little bit more base hits. She finds a way to sneak this in down the first base line, get a leadoff double for the Auburn Tigers.
She was 0 for 6 entering that at bat, gets a base hit here and a big one too to put a runner in scoring position with nobody out. And there will be a pinch runner that comes in for her.
Running at second for Wohlers will be 66, Annabelle Widra.
It's Annabelle Widra, who we saw in the circle yesterday, got the start in game 2 for Auburn. Now the pinch runner. New first baseman as well for Missouri. Abby Hay out, Madison Walker, the freshman, in. Walker started each of the first 2 games of the series and now comes in as a defensive replacement in the 6th. This is Amelia Leck at the plate now. Hit a home run last time up. And also a new right fielder. It's in there for a strike to Leck. Big swing of the day for Auburn. Came off the bat of Amelia Leck, led off the 4th inning with a solo shot. This one stays a bit low and in, 2-2. Driven deep left field again. Second bomb of the day for Amelia Leck.
Home run for Auburn and Amelia Leck.
We've been talking about her power all weekend long, and she shows it, puts it on display today. First one was a solo home run. This one, a 2-run home run. This pitch is on the inner half of the plate. She gets her hands to it, gets underneath it just a little bit, but enough to get out of the park. That was a shot by Amelia Leck.
Home runs number 6 and 7 on the season in the last 2 at-bats, and that was a no-doubter. 200 straight down the line. That was probably about 250. And first pitch swinging here is Isis Tresvik, but right on a line to the right fielder. Kaylee Langer with the play.
Lake has also been having so much trouble off of these Missouri pitchers this weekend, especially off of Lauren Krings. We saw earlier in the day, Lauren Krings threw her 3 changeups to where she was nowhere close to it. Now this time she makes an adjustment, gets ahead in the count, gets a ball a little bit up in the zone to where she can handle it and drives that thing out of here.
Two-hit day yesterday for Roach, but 0 for 2 today, looking for her first hit. Lofts it out of play down the third baseline. Two runs total in the first 2 days for Auburn. They both came on Friday, got shut out yesterday 5-0, but 4 runs today. A pair of home runs, both coming from Amelia Leck, and the Auburn offense finally got the jump start they've been looking for this weekend.
Not only that, but has been a great performance in the circle so far for Maddie Penta. This is the Maddie Penta that we are used to seeing. Keeps these batters off balance, limits the damage when it does happen, scatters hits here and there, and her Auburn offense has backed her up today with 4 runs.
2-1 from Krings, looped into left field, and it drops down in front of Maya Dodge, the new left fielder. Third base hit of the inning for Auburn.
Number 11, the catcher, Aubrey Lisenby.
Aubrey Lisenby, the catcher, 0 for 2. A strikeout and a pop up to second base in her 2 at-bats today. Big opportunity for Auburn to get back in the win column. They had won 7 in a row to wrap up the non-conference portion of the schedule before entering SEC play. Dropped the first 2 here in Columbia. But a chance to beat the 12th ranked team in the country today and avoid the series sweep. Four-pitch walk for Lisenby, and there's a couple runners on base now for Auburn. So how different things can be. Missouri, the 3rd different pitcher the Tigers have used today. It's Taylor Pinnell, the sophomore, who usually comes in late game situations with a chance to lock the game down, but right now they're just searching for any answer they can after 4 runners have reached base already in the 6th inning. They've scored a couple runs, trying to go to Taylor Pinnell, the lefty, to shut down this Auburn offense.
At least find a way to get their momentum back on the Missouri Tigers side. Get them back into their dugout without any more damage on the board. This is what Taylor Pinnell does best late in games, is she gets out of sticky situations like this. Her go-to is going to be that changeup. She has such a good changeup from the left-handed perspective. I feel like that's all we've been talking about this weekend with those Missouri hitters are the changeups. But again, Larissa Anderson has done a great job making sure that these pitchers do have that off speed. She's also going to come in with a little bit of a curve from that lefty side too. It's going to be very deceptive on these Auburn hitters. With the righty batters, it's going to come in more on their hands. With the lefty batters, go away from them. So this is a very good change for Larissa Anderson to try and get a different perspective in the pitcher circle.
7th appearance on the season for Taylor Pinnell. who told Larissa Anderson this season, I want to lead the country in saves. She wants to be that pitcher that in close games in the 6th, 7th inning that Larissa Anderson turns to and goes to try to shut the door. Faces the 9-hole hitter Abby Smith for her first batter of the weekend before the top of the order. And Abby Smith has got on with a bunt single and another single today in her first start of the weekend. Takes a first pitch strike from Pinnell. Not many at-bats coming into the day for Abby Smith, but she has delivered today. Slow roller that trickles foul and touched up by Walker.
Abby Smith may not have been a go-to in Game 1 and Game 2 of this series, but Coach Dean gave her an opportunity here in this game. Currently 2 for 2. We've talked about this before. She may have solidified her spot down at the bottom of the lineup for herself.
Her last hit came all the way back on February 15th against Utah, but 2 of them already today in only 2 plate appearances. Only had 8 at-bats all season long entering the day, but just alluded to it. Might be somebody that's finding herself more and more opportunities if you're going to continue to have 2-hit days in the 9 spot. And that rolls just foul. I mean, inches away from her third base hit.
With her being a slapper, Cara Daly has to play a little bit farther up. She almost sneaks this just by her. And Cara Daly's not small. She has a very, very big arm wingspan over there at third base. So almost great placement there by Smith.
Got her way out in front this time, though. The first batter Pinnell faces is a strikeout.
Talked about that before. Her off speed is what makes her so effective. Abby Smith was on the hard stuff. She comes back with that changeup, gets a huge out for the Tigers while limiting the damage.
KK McCrary has reached base twice, the leadoff hitter for Auburn. Chance for Taylor Pinnell to come in here and get out of a jam where it was runners on first and second and only 1 out when she came in. Riley McNeamer is the pinch runner in there at first for the catcher Aubrey Lisenby at first base. Just a little bit low and away for Pinnell, evens the count, or rather makes it 2-1. It's in there for a strike. Taylor Pinnell 1 strike away from getting out of this inning.
Talk about a big situation for both the Missouri Tigers and the Auburn Tigers. If Auburn can find a way to get a base hit and score 1 more, maybe 2 more runs, that's a lot of insurance and really hard for the Tigers to come back. But if Taylor Pinnell can shut the door, it's going to be huge for their momentum going forward.
Lifted in the air, left center field. Honnold's over on it and makes the catch a couple steps in front of the wall to end the inning. But a big inning at that for Auburn, 2-run.
Limiting the damage when these Tiger hitters do get on, and this is what we are used to seeing, this All-American Maddie Penta.
The reigning SEC pitcher of the year and first-team All-American. That one rolls right between her legs, but Peralta the throw in time to get Langer. Wow. Now that is so close.
And it's one of those things that we have to know what the call on the field was. Because if there is not indisputable video evidence, then there's no way that these umpires can overturn this play.
Missouri is challenging the call at first base. The call on the field is out. We are under review.
And I think either way, no matter which way this one goes, this is a good challenge used by Mizzou, right? You're down 4 runs late in the game in the 6th. You got a chance to have the leadoff batter on base, who is the 9-hole hitter, by the way, turning it over to the top.
For Jenna Laird, who is 2 for 2 off of Maddie Penta today.
Yes.
And we already know Alex Honnold is not going to go hitless. She does not do that very often. She smoked the ball a couple times, waiting for her to actually break out in this game. So this is a huge call for both teams.
If you were to ask me out or safe and not knowing what the ruling on the field was, I'd say safe. I think it's kind of bang, bang, foot touches the bag the same time the ball gets in the glove, but you alluded to it. You always have to know the call on the field first was out. So you have to have clear and obvious evidence to be able to overturn it. What do you think, Brooke?
I think I would have to agree with you there.
After review, we're upholding the call of out at first base.
Upholding the call at first. Runner is out. Little grin from Nelia Peralta, the shortstop who made the play. It was not confirmed, that's worth noting, but upheld. So I think it's one of those where didn't have enough video evidence to fully be able to say, yes, runner was safe.
That's the most bang play that I think you could get, even on
Yes.
video evidence. Usually you can see some discrepancies, but there it was bang. Could have gone either way.
I mean, slow-mo frame by frame, and I'm still sitting there like, I don't know, that could go either way. Jenna Laird has 2 of the 3 Missouri hits today. If you're going to start a rally down 4 in the 6th, it's got to start now. That's not a hit, but it is a hit by pitch.
Jenna Laird on base 3 times again today, 2 with the base hit, 1 with the hit by pitch. Maddie Penta was trying to go inside after Jenna Laird had been doing a good job with all of the balls in the outside part of the plate. But this time just ran a little bit too inside, and Jenna Laird gets that hit by pitch.
The first time she was on base in the first inning, she got called leaving early on a steal. The second time she was on base, she was left stranded just a batter later when Alex Honnold grounded out to end the inning. You surprised to see a little bit of a bunt there from Alex Honnold? I know she's 0 for 2 today, hasn't been a great day, but you're talking about somebody who hits over 400, the best batter in the lineup.
Absolutely, but maybe she's not seeing the ball like she thought she would today. She's trying to get a bunt down, trying to change up how the defense is playing her. Third base now has to play in, and if she can do that.
Well, they get an out at first. Second time she's grounded out to the first baseman, Leck, and there's 2 outs in the 6th.
The catcher, number 11, 2.
Not something we're used to seeing out of Alex Honnold. It's almost kind of half swings. Maddie Penta must be doing something really well to change the eye level, change the decision making of Alex Honnold to where she has these 2 weak ground balls to first base, and on top of that, a strikeout too.
Alex Honnold has hits in 13 of the last 14 games, but worth noting the one she didn't was Friday against Penta. First pitch swinging is Crenshaw, and she sharply grounds out after Florida took game 1 last night on a 1-hit shutout by their freshman in the circle. 4-0 here in Columbia. Auburn lost the first 2 games. They're trying to avoid the sweep. Just 1 inning away from going back home with 1 win this weekend. Taylor Pennell was really good. Came in relief in a jam. Runners on first and second, just 1 out in the 6th, and ended the inning with a strikeout and a fly out to get out of the inning. And Brooke, this is the first time we've seen any relief pitching for Mizzou, because day 1, complete game from Lauren Krings. Day 2, complete game from Sierra Harrison.
Yeah, and we were expecting Lauren Krings to go the distance today.
It's a called strike 3 on the first bat of the inning from Pennell as she strikes out Packer.
Taylor Pennell with her curveball just comes right back over into the heart of the plate. Freezes up Michaela Packard. Almost felt like she was expecting a different pitch there, but Taylor Pennell comes with the hard stuff and gets her looking.
Taylor Pennell has been locked down in the situation she's come in this season. It's a big hole to climb out of if you're Mizzou, but Pinnell trying to keep it at 4 runs going to the bottom of the 7th. Peralta sharply hit to short, layered up with it, 2 quick outs.
Number 22, third baseman Anna Wohlers.
Always a lethal part of this Auburn lineup now. Anna Wohlers, her first hit of the series was her last time up, just last inning in the 6th when she doubled to lead off the inning. Scored on the 2-run home run, a batter later from Leck, and on the first pitch, she goes into the opposite field, back-to-back base hits for Anna Wohlers after she didn't have one all weekend.
She works the first base line for her first double of the weekend, and now she works the third base line for this one. Really good job by Anna Wohlers with a lefty pitcher. It's going to go away from her in that lefty batter's box, but she does a really good job sticking with it, shoots it down that left field line.
Here comes Amelia Leck. Pair of home runs today. Rather, this is a pinch hitter now. So Leck gets taken out after a 2-for-3 day with 2 strikeouts. And instead, Axe Milanowski is the pinch hitter.
My thinking here for Mickey Dean is late in this game, you're up 4 runs. Leck has already looked a little shaky over there at first base. Axe Milanowski might be that defensive replacement to where she can come in and make those sure solid plays since they are already up by 4 runs, because Amelia Leck has had a day for herself.
Yeah. Back-to-back home runs in the 4th and 6th innings. But first at bat of the day for Axe Milanowski. Early day for Amelia Leck, but a 2-for-3, 2-homer day. You'll take that anytime you can get it. Milanowski swings right through it. Quick inning. We go to the bottom. Yesterday when we weren't prepared for the cold weather, came in clutch for us.
You can tell that he's done this
Yes.
quite a few times. He walks in at least with 5 of them, throws one to me, throws one to you. He's done this before. He's experienced.
It's like I didn't learn anything from my mom growing up, always saying, put on a jacket, it's cold outside.
It's not like I didn't play here for 5 years in the freezing cold. No idea.
But Ed came through in the clutch. We knew he's bundled up. He dressed for the weather like anybody else should have been. And he made up for those of us that didn't. It's been an awesome weekend here in Columbia. First 2 days went to Mizzou. Auburn 3 outs away from taking the 3rd and final game and avoiding the sweep here on the first weekend of SEC play in a top 25 matchup. A couple heavyweights. Penta's pitch slides outside to Cara Daly. It is middle of the order for Missouri's final chance. Daly, who homered back on Friday in game 1, but is 0 for 2 today, and then it's Gallagher and Chester coming up the next 2. But Maddie Penta a chance to slam the door on what has been a near flawless day in the circle for a first-team All-American from a year ago. Gave up 5 runs on Friday, Brooke. Only 3 of them earned, but 5 runs, 6 hits, went 5 innings, season low 4 strikeouts. Today, different story. No runs, only 3 hits. She struck out 5, and she's been dealing.
She has, and to go on top of that no base on balls, she has found a way to make sure that these hitters either put it in play or she strikes them out. She's done a really, really good job all day today. And I'm going to say it again, this is just what we expect from her. We expect her to be perfect every time. So when she did have an off game like she did on Friday, it's not something we're really used to.
Here's the 2-2 from her. Got Daly swinging low. Strikeout 6 on the day for Maddie Penta. And Kylie talked with Mickey Dean, Auburn's head coach, back in the 4th inning, and he said the biggest difference from Friday to today is she's hitting her spots. She's moving the ball around. She left a lot flat and over the plate on Friday. Hasn't really done that at all today.
She hasn't, and I think we saw that on Friday when we went over the replay. is her hard stuff was right down the middle. Her changeup was not working as well. Could have been from the elements, could have been from maybe being pitched too much. We don't really know, but she got that day off. She relaxed yesterday. She came back today, and she realized what she needed to do to help this team. And then the Auburn bats have just backed her up all day today. When we only thought they were going to get one run, they add on another. Then they get another 2-run home run. It's just been an overall great day for the Auburn Tigers.
Gallagher pops it up in the infield right to the shortstop Peralta, and Auburn is 1 out away from a Game 3 win.
Designated player number 12, Katie Chester.
For the moment being, Katie Chester is the final hope for Mizzou. 0 for 2 on the day, and she watches that one hop in there, 1-0. Doubled yesterday for her first hit of the weekend, her only hit of the weekend thus far. She tries to keep this game going. Holds the hands, 2-0. In there on the outside corner from Penta, 2 balls and a strike. A 5-2 win in Game 1 for Missouri. 5-0 win yesterday. They shut them out. Auburn's got a chance to return the favor. Chopped foul. Missouri down to its final strike. Missouri has not been shut out this season. They've only lost 2 games. But this would be the first time Mizzou's been shut out all season. And there will be at least one more pitch. Two. It's a good eye from Chester. Full count.
She's put together a really good at bat here. Being the last out, there can be a lot of pressure. You could be over swinging a little bit, but Katie Chester has found ways to make sure that she swings at those good pitches, maybe fouls them off until she gets a much better pitch and then leaves the ones that are out of the zone.
Here's the full count pitch from Penta. And it's just outside. Chester earns the walk, and this game extends to one more batter. So pinch runner coming in for Chester after she earns the walk.
Is number 8, Claire Cahalan.
Claire Cahalan in there all 3 games this weekend as a pinch runner. She's at first. And at the plate is Maya Dodge. The transfer from Northern Iowa, her first plate appearance. She came in as a defensive replacement in left field in the top of the 6th, and now has her first at-bat of the weekend. First pitch from Penta to Dodge, and she cuts right through it 0-1.
Coach Anderson was talking about Dodge earlier this year about how she has just been trying to find her footing in the SEC. She's had so much success at UNI, but now since she's been here, maybe not translate that over enough. She's waiting for her to just break out one of these days and become that hitter that they know she can be.
Yeah, she was the Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year last year. Hit .388, 17 home runs. That was the 3rd most in program history. She drove in 68 runs, which were third most in the nation last year. So she's got a great bat, but just trying to figure out the SEC level. Check swing, throw back to first. Cahalan is there. Dodge this year hitting just 184. One-two from Penta. Just outside. Dodge holds off. Fell behind 0-2, but she's worked it to 2-2. This is not an envious spot to be in if you're Maya Dodge. First at bat of the entire weekend. You're coming in with 2 outs in the 7th against the SEC pitcher of the year from last year.
But all Coach Anderson can ask for here is that she just puts together a good at-bat, swinging at good pitches in the zone, leaving those that might not be strikes off, in which she has done so far.
2-2, that ball's driven into center field, and it falls down for a base hit. No at-bats all weekend for Maya Dodge, but with 2 outs in the 7th, she extends the game with a base hit to center field.
This is what Coach Anderson is wanting to see from Maya Dodge. She's had a really rough start to the beginning of the year. But again, it doesn't have to be the hardest hit sometimes. Sometimes it just has to find a little hole. And maybe that's going to jumpstart Maya Dodge to where she might get more consistent in the lineup, might get some more at-bats. It's very good to see from her, especially after the start that she's had so far this year.
Another pinch hitter in the lineup for Larissa Anderson's Mizzou Tigers. It's Stefania Abriscato, the freshman from Smithtown, New York, who was the New York Gatorade Player of the Year last year as a senior in high school. She hit .667 last year as a senior.
Hitting for Hay is number 7.
But another true freshman that's trying to find her footing. 185 on the season, has 1 at-bat this weekend. She's 0 for 1. Runners on first and second for the freshman Abriscato, who takes a first pitch strike on the outside corner. If Abriscato can manage to get on base here, that brings up the game-tying run, and Kaylee Langer, who's in the on-deck circle right now, down 4 runs in the 7th. 1-1.
It seems like some of these calls that Penta was getting earlier in the game might not be getting right now. There's been a couple that have been really, really close that we usually have been seeing from our umpiring crew. But again, as the game gets laid on, it might be something that maybe the umpire doesn't want to call those too close. Maybe they have to be a little bit better. But again, Penta seems to be getting a little bit frustrated not getting those calls on the outside corner.
The 22 pitches in this inning for Penta, already the most she's had in an inning today. Here comes the 2-1. Called strike again, that just nabs the outside corner, and it's 2-2.
And just as I say that, umpire
She gets one.
Just gets one on the outside corner.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Auburn gets its first win in Columbia since. And Kylie is now down on the field with Amelia Leck after a 2-home-run performance.
Oh, Amelia, your transfer from Maryland this summer, this year, what was that decision-making process like?
It was just really easy. I got on campus. I got to meet some of my teammates like C-Mac and a couple of the other girls, and it just felt like home immediately.
And then you and Anna Wohlers commit within just 2 days of each other. How has that relationship grown?
Well, Anna's my roommate, and, she's just awesome. She's the best. Whenever I need something, I know I can go to her and anyone on this team, and I'm just so grateful to be here.
Yeah, and then you start off 0-2 in this series. What was your mindset coming into this game?
We are, as a team, we refuse to lose, regardless of what the outcomes were the first 2 days. We want to win, and we want to make the other team work as hard as they possibly can to get all of us out, and I think that's what we really bought into this last game.
Yeah, and let's get to the home runs. Obviously, you might have struggled a little bit in your first at bat, but what were you seeing